Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. A recent assessment of Jamaica's mining policy framework has revealed major gaps in mining closure legislation. The assessment shows that the requirements for mining operators are weak and therefore exposes Jamaicans to significant social and economic risks. As Andrew Laidley reports, the assessment was done between November 2018 and April 2019.
The mining sector accounts for about 2.2% of Jamaica's gross domestic product, but the sector has been plagued over the years by claims of environmental pollution. The authorities have also been criticized for failing to implement stricter measures for mining operators. An assessment done by the Intergovernmental Forum in Mining, Minerals, Metals and Sustainable Development in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank is raising new concerns. After mining is done in an area, the operators are expected to ensure that the area is properly rehabilitated. The operators are also expected to bear the social and economic costs of that rehabilitation. That's the international best practice for mining closure legislation. But in Jamaica, things are a little different. The assessment uncovered that financial assurances to cover the costs of rehabilitation and closure are not required by the Mining Act, leaving mining communities exposed to significant hazards. The assessment also labels the current framework as outdated and notes that it fails to address many of the environmental, social, and economic elements of mine closure. To make matters worse, the assessment found that the fines and penalties associated with incomplete restoration and rehabilitation or not adhering to the required timeline for certification of mined-out lands are low. The recommendation, therefore, is that the government consider a mature, modern legislative regime and policy for the mining sector which will provide clear lines of responsibility and accountability for both governments and companies. Andrew Laidley, TVJ News.
The Companies Office of Jamaica COJ is reporting that more business people are using the electronic business registration form to register their operations since the coronavirus pandemic. Public Relations Officer Kawayne Ferron says more than 800 entities have registered since January 2020, with 400 between March and May. He says there was a decline when the lockdown started, but noted that in May there was an increase in usage. Currency trading ended today with the US dollar selling for $143.42, the Canadian dollar $107.29. The pound is going for $179.94, while the euro sold for $161.73. The JSE index lost 1,536 points today, while the junior market index gained 7 points. Among the winners, ISP Finance Services, Cargo Handlers, Palace Amusement, Berger Paints and T-Tech. On the losing side were Siboney Group, Consolidated Bakeries, Mailpack, First Rock Capital Holdings and Fosrich. And that's it for the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Good evening.